During my most used EDC of the last decade video, some astute viewer mentioned, hey, what about watches? Well, today we'll talk about watches. Let's get to it. I will place chapter markers and links to all of the manufacturers of these watches in the video description. So stick with me, we'll launch on through this. The first watch we have up here is the Christopher Ward C60 38mm Trident. This was my first bronze watch and the watch that kind of got me into bronze. It's a mechanical watch. It's a three-hander with a calendar function. Something about the color contrast of this dial with the bronze. I just love the contrast, the hands. It all worked for me. So I bought this watch. Taking a quick look at the back, and that's it. We're moving on. The second watch in our lineup today is the Zelos Mako 3 Meteorite dial. This watch is probably my favorite looking watch. The hands are blued in such a way that you can kind of see the sheen. It looks so amazing in the light. The individual indices are also outlined in that same blue, which just makes it an awesome watch to look at in the daylight. You can see the Mako on the back here. This here is the Zelos Mako 3 Mother of Pearl. This watch has a dial similar to the Alpinist Blue that was released by Seiko a number of years ago as a limited release. It is such a neat dial color, and even though you may not be able to see it on the video, it has this depth and sheen that just makes it a really, really amazing watch to look at, especially in the light. The next one we have on the list is the Hamtun H2 Kraken. This watch is my favorite white dialed watch of all time. There's something about it. This dial is super starkly white, and then the indices are just slightly off white to give it a little bit of contrast due to the lume. And then this blue second indicator, it's my favorite white dialed watch. See a little look at the back here. The next watch on the list is the Bulova A15 Pilot's Watch. This is a DLC black version of it. There's something about it that just attracts me. The other cool thing about this is it has this lapse time function around the edge, but I use it mostly as like a poor man's GMT. So you can rotate the minutes around the edge, as you can see there, and you can also rotate the hours around the edge. It's one of those watches that I just keep coming back to. Now let's move into the quartz watches we have. So the first one up we have here is the PRG 600YB. This is a Protrek that I bought in fairly recent history, and even though it's a larger watch, I don't mind how it looks on my wrist. So I tend to wear it more than any of my other Protreks now. The second Protrek we have here is the PRW 3100Y. So this particular watch was one of the watches that I picked up on sale many years ago. It's probably the best fitting Protrek I have. It just feels very natural on my wrist with this hard curve out at the ends since I have a relatively small wrist. All three of my Protreks in this list are all solar powered too. So this was my first solar powered Protrek. This is the PRW 2500T. This particular watch I've had for many, many years now. This got a lot of hiking miles on it. It was my first solar powered one. Just a few comments on discounts from manufacturers. Christopher Ward has regular sales, and then on top of it, they have clearance or inventory liquidation sales where they will mark down their watches significantly. If you are interested in Christopher Ward, I would suggest you sign up for their sales. For Zelos, Elshin Tang, the owner of this brand, is very active in his Facebook community. He's always posting previews, and if you pre-order, you'll save money over the retail price. And so all of my Zelos watches I pre-order. Another one is Protreks. The thing about Protreks is that you really just need to watch for sales, especially if you see a model on Amazon. This model and the black model I have here both came off of Amazon sales at some point over the last several years. And that's how I acquire them, is I just add them to my wish list and then I watch Camel or some other price tracking service. For Bulova, my main tip is find the models that are not popular right now. I bought this watch for about a third of what you can get it for now whenever you go and seek it. And that's because I found a design that I really liked whenever it wasn't popular, and then I went and picked it up. So there you go. These are my watches. Didn't mean for this to be an entire review, just a few comments on each watch and the ones that I have worn over the last decade. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it a whole lot, then please subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Have a great day.